Hi, thanks for watching. So I understand that you don't have a website yet, which could actually be a good thing because a lot of times, a lot of companies end up making and spending money on a website that ends up having to get either scrapped or completely get rebuilt from the ground up. So what I wanted to do is share with you some tips on some things you can do on your website when you are building it to make sure that it's done so properly so that way it can be ranked. And then what I'm going to do is show you what the top search results are getting for traffic to their site along with the amount of leads that will be coming directly to your business if yours was ranked. So what I'm going to do here is I've just taken the one of the top and bottom listings on the first page for painters in Jacksonville, and I just put them into this tool that I use, and it shows me all the information that Google finds on their site that it uses to determine its position in search results, and then rates its strength and trust on a scale of 1 to 100. Now you can see that there's a big difference between the top of the page and the bottom of the page, but let me just go through a little bit of detail on what these numbers mean and then how you can keep them in mind when you're trying to build your website. So when Google is looking to determine how to rank a website in search results, it uses two different factors. The first is what's called the authority or trust that it has in a site. Now this basically boils down to a popularity contest because this authority is gained when other domains or websites refer back to them and then they create a link. Now, that acts as an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because others are vouching for you. So just to quickly give you an example, if say the local news station did an article on their website and it said the top 10 best painting companies in Jacksonville, and in that article, the reader could click on a link and it would bring them to your website, that's considered one backlink from one referring domain. Now, there's a lot of different types of websites that can link back to yours, blogs, editorials, guest posts, press releases. However, one very important type is what's called a citation. Now, a citation is any time that your name, address, or phone number appear in an online directory. Those include Yelp, Yellow Pages, Super Pages, Better Business Bureau, etc. Now, these are usually always free. It just takes some time to find them, register your business, and then input the information exactly as it's shown in Google. And you can do that even without having a website. So you can see with the amount of websites or domains that are linking back to this company, why they're on the top of the page compared to the company on the bottom of the page, yet they're both still on the first page. But there is also something to note here is it's not just a matter of the quantity of these domains that link back to them, it's also the quality. So certain websites are more spammy than others, especially ones that come from outside the United States. So we need to be making sure that we're finding highly authoritative websites, but they also need to be relative to your service industry. So whether it has to do with painting or home remodeling or construction in general, something to that effect. So that way they're transferring this trust to you through that link. Now, the second factor for ranking a website is the content on the page. So let me take a look in here just so I can show you what I mean so you can keep this in mind when you're building out a website. These are all the keywords and phrases that are being typed into Google search that are being found on this company's website. And it also shows the volume, the number of times per month they're being searched. So what you want to do is a whole lot of research to find the highest volume keywords relative to the services that you offer and the areas you service, and make sure that those are being included prominently on your website. So for instance, painting Jacksonville, Florida, that's being searched 600 times a month. That's pretty popular. So if your website was on the first page, those 600 people would be seeing your website when they search. Now we're very conservative and Google Analytics estimates about 10% of total search volume converts into a lead for the business. So now you got a potential of 60 new customers a month. Now, depending on what the conversion rate is for customers to call you to actually get jobs done, and then obviously the profit margin varies per job, but you can see just how the sheer volume of leads coming in per month definitely can add up to some revenue at the end of the year. And that's just off of one keyword phrase. So we repeat that same process for all the high volume keywords, and then you'll be getting all that traffic to your site on a monthly basis. Now, there is a formula that Google uses to find these keywords. So if we use the same website, let me take a look at them here. This is a pretty old build for a website. The reason I say that is it's just looking at it, we've got a lot of margins on the side. It's a short page. So Google doesn't care about the layout. It doesn't care how old it is. It's just a computer. So all it's going to do is come in and count the words on the page. Now, it's usually looking for a minimum of about 1,500 words on a home page because it assumes that the more information you have, the more of an expert you are, and then the more likely it is to recommend you in search results. Now, while it's counting all the words, it's also searching for those keywords. So any kind of services that they offer, and then areas that they offer it in. Now, this is where the number of words on the page really comes into play because you're only allowed to have one of those keywords for every 150 words of text on the page. So the more services you want to be found for, or locations, or just keywords in general, means the more content that you have to add to your page when you're creating it. Now, furthermore, in order for a keyword to be counted by Google, the 150 words of supporting content has to be directly related to that keyword itself. So if we're talking about interior painting, you can't have 150 words of, say, like grass cutting or things like that. It needs to be specifically tailored to the exact keyword that you're trying to match. And then also for like locations, this doesn't work anymore. That's another reason why I can tell this is an old build, because it used to be that you could just list every location and Google would pick you up. So same thing as a service. If you want to be found in, say, Atlantic Beach or Nassau County, you need to have 150 words talking about painting or services you offer in Nassau County specifically. So these are all just, some things to keep in mind when you're trying to build out your page. Now, how it works in the search results, the first thing that's always going to come up is what's called the Google Map Pack. Now, this is a pretty important area to try to get into as well because a lot of traffic comes to these top 3 sites since they're at the top of the page. Now, to be listed in here is free, even without a website. You just need to fill out your Google Business profile, which is part of the Maps app, so you can do that right from your smartphone. And there are ways to optimize this to try to increase your listing to get up here in the top 3. So you want to fill out as much information as you can, including all the services that you offer, the areas you service, and even the hours of operation. Then you're allowed 750 characters in your business description. You want to use all that and put some keywords in there as well. And then you really want to add photos that are geolocated and tagged within your service area, as well as posting onto your profile on a regular basis. Google really rewards activity. Then you want to collect as many reviews as you can and get as many of those citations, your name, address, and phone number. You want to appear in more directories than anybody else on this list. Now, underneath that, this is what we call the organic search results. This is where the more authority or trust that Google has in a website, the higher up on the list it's going to rank. So this is where getting more of those links or referrals from other websites is how you climb and outrank the competition when you have a website. Then once your site is at the top, you'll be getting all that search volume and all those leads coming directly to your business. So I hope this information was helpful and it shows you how you really utilize a website to generate business for you rather than just becoming an expense. But please, if you have any questions or if you want to go into any further details, don't hesitate to reach out. We could talk about some of your goals for the business and then do some research on our end to find out exactly what it would take for you guys to reach those. And we always appreciate at least getting some feedback as well, just to find out if information like this was useful for you. So please feel free to let me know what you thought. I appreciate your time and look forward to hearing from you.